off his desk. And you can be undermanned, but you shouldn't be out-efforted, and that's the problem. You give up 60% shooting in the first and second period, and that's an issue.
Cleveland coming into the game 28-21 on the season. That is 4th in the Eastern Conference. Denver's got a better record, 30-19, but in the vastly superior Western Conference, that is only good for 7th right now for the Nuggets. And I mean, they lose a couple of games, they could fall out of the playoff picture temporarily, but it's going to be an absolute battle out west, Doris. A lot of good teams are going to really struggle, and a couple of good teams are not going to make the playoffs.
Well, here's an incredible thing. I think somebody could be, 15 games, over 500, 10, 15 games, and not get in. Yep. Somebody's heart is going to be broken. There is so many quality teams out there, so competitive. That's why these kinds of games, George Karl stressed to his team, we got to win this.
Kenyon Martin. 13 to shoot for the Nuggets. If the playoffs were to begin today, here's what it would look like in the Western Conference. And how entertaining, how great would all of these series be? All of these are such good teams. Right now, Houston and Portland would be on the outside looking in. And, of course, teams like Phoenix and the Lakers and others have made moves in the last couple of weeks to strengthen themselves for the second half of the season.
Okay, that bracket, does that not show you something special? Baron Davis versus Steve Nash, Tony Parker versus Chris Paul.
It'll be fun. In the East, things are a little bit easier. The best record since Christmas. Cleveland is up there in spite of some recent injuries. For part of that stretch, they were very healthy. Utah had been on a real tear, had that 10-game winning streak. Utah, Denver, and Portland all battling for the division title in the Northwest, and that would mean a top 4 seed in the Western Conference playoffs.
We both saw Darren Williams have that great run at Illinois, get to the national championship game. You think he'd be this good?
Maybe not this soon.
Yeah, incredible.
Of course, it was he and Chris Paul and Raymond Felton all came out of the same year, and who would get drafted ahead of whom in a friendly competition between those guys, especially between Williams and Paul. Denver sharing the ball nicely. Carmelo misses the 3, and the rebound ripped down by James. Use the screen. Ilgauskas slips it and lays it in.
That's the passing ability I was talking about. And because he's got to do so much scoring, you haven't seen a lot of that yet. But this is LeBron James. How about no spacing? The ability off the pick and roll to shred the defense. Folks, this is an incredibly tough pass made to look easy. That is beautiful.
3rd assist of the night for LeBron James, who is also in the top 10 in the league in assists. And Big Z with 6 points and 7 rebounds on his way to another double-double, which is becoming fairly routine for him. 3rd foul on Kenyon Martin. Sunday night, after us here tonight, Antoine Jamison and the Wizards take on Steve Nash and the Suns. And again, Shaq is not likely to play. He will be there. He's hoping to come back a little bit later on in the week. Washington, a team that was playing great, but recently with their injuries, they have struggled. J.R. Smith, he should visualize that every game he plays is against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Had a phenomenal game against them in November and is lighting it up again here tonight. He's made 3 threes already. He's going to try another one. I think that's what you call a heat check.
That's exactly right. He's feeling it.
And Ilgauskas traveled.
That is a Mark Jones phrase right there. Heat check.
We'll see. 2 Nuggets are coming out. One of them is Smith. So he might have pushed his luck just a little bit too far with his coach on that last shot.
Well, the interesting thing is, George Karl has talked about this. He said, we will get in a game 5 or 6 bad shots because I want to play quick. I want to push the tempo a little bit. San Antonio, on the other hand, they might play 5 or 6 games and not have a total of 5 bad shots.
Denver likes to junk it up is the term that was given to us, and not in a derogatory way, both offensively and defensively. Boy, that is terrific defense by Newell. Carmelo gets it back and draws the foul. You can't do anything more if you're Ira Newell.
Nope, exactly. Great defense. Looks like he's beat on the up fake. Does a nice job avoiding contact to get the first block.
And Carmelo to the line. You can see that Newell is sporting a battle scar. What's the deal, Rick?
Well, it's actually from a teammate. Zydrunas Ilgauskas caught him with an elbow in their last home game. And as a result, he's hurting a little bit, but not affecting his vision as far as his defense, certainly.
Well, during that game, he got stitched up, and he's a hockey player. Came back in and got right back in the game.
5 stitches. That looked to be at least 5 stitches.
Yeah. 19 now for Carmelo. Largest lead of the night for the Nuggets.
The Nuggets go zone here.
And a technical foul.
Defensive 3-second.
Defensive 3-second call. That's a second on Denver, and LeBron will head back to the line. First one didn't seem to bother George Karl, but that one did. And it'll rattle home for LeBron. Coming up at the half, it's the Toyota halftime report with Mark Jones and Stephen A. Smith. Boston taking on San Antonio earlier today. A look at the 2003 draft and review. That is LeBron and Carmelo and Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. What a draft it was. And a matchup from the Pac-10 college action as UCLA goes down to defeat.
But Boston has yet to lose to a Western team. That's incredible.
16-0. Only 5 of them on the road. Their schedule kind of backloaded in terms of difficulty. But as Doc Rivers or anybody will tell you, you can only play who's on your schedule, and they're playing them awfully well so far.
Well, here's what you know about Boston. What a great defensive team. They are in every statistical category there. Now, the Spurs win 4 championships in 6 years. They are committed to the defensive end of the floor every possession, every night.
And earlier today, the Celtics were without Kevin Garnett, also without Kendrick Perkins. They got a terrific effort from Big Baby, from Glenn Davis today at both ends of the floor. LeBron gets it back from Hughes. Just over a minute to go, and off the fingertips of Simmons. And LeBron doing his best to control his outward frustration with some of the mistakes here tonight. Here are the standings in the East. Cleveland right now 4th in the Eastern Conference. And again, 28-21, considering all the injuries they've had, not too shabby.
Boy, Detroit-Boston finals in the East. That sounds so intriguing.
It seems like the Magic of the Cavs hoping to have something to say about that. Big block by Big Z on Carmelo Anthony. Second block of the night for Ilgauskas. It will stay with the Cavs. The Nuggets are upset, and they might have a case right there.
Well, he's a savvy guy, and you get away with what you can get away with. Perhaps a little bit of contact in the back before the block. Let's see, does he push? Left hand there. Subtle. It was a subtle left hand.
Just kind of steadying himself. The big fellas need to make sure their balance is underneath them. Final minute of the first half that has been dominated by the visitors. Ilgauskas, it rims out, and again off the fingertips of Simmons, who doesn't play very much, second-year player at NC State, and having trouble corralling the basketball at times tonight. Nuggets will hold it and run down the clock with about a 6-second difference. Two-man game, Iverson and Anthony. Carmelo misses the 3. Nahara the rebound. Carter. And another block. I think Simmons got that one. And it'll be all in the first half, with Denver scoring 63 points in the first half. 19 for Carmelo Anthony, 13 for Allen Iverson, offsetting 19 for LeBron James. 63-45 is the score, as the Nuggets are having their way with the Cavs here in the first half. Let's go to Rick Bucher.